But have you witnessed this in people that are using, let's say, athletes? Are you using Brain Gauge to monitor athletes and try and help them improve reaction time?
Actually, reaction, one thing that we've done that we've added lately is we have our own Brain Gauge training platform, or own Brain Gauge exercise platform. And so when we built this, the original testing platform, we were very careful to do it take the scientific route and say, okay, let's make this so that if somebody tests 2 or 3 times a week, that the testing won't influence their ability. In other words, the best way to think about this is if you want to test somebody's ability to run around the track, run a quarter mile, you say, okay, come in and walk a quarter mile, run a quarter mile, and we'll do that once a month, just to see what your general health is. That once a month time is not going to have any effect on your quarter mile time, or how fast you are, or if you were to come in at a weight room and do the same thing and lift weights just to see how strong you are. But if you were to start doing this 2 or 3 times a week, it would actually, and you did a slightly different regimen, you came in and you say, okay, are you going to run like a quarter mile once a day for, 2 or 3 days a week? That's great. That still really won't improve it. And, but it might start to have a little bit of impact on your performance. But what we've done is we've flipped the testing on its head and come up with a Brain Gauge exercise platform that will actually help you improve your speed. And we've seen people's speed improve incredibly. I'm actually kind of surprised at how much better people are getting. And keep in mind, some people in these training platforms or the brain training world will immediately say, oh, well, they're just learning how to game the system. I was like, actually, you can't improve reaction time. You can't cheat on any of these tests. The only way to get better is to train and actually exercise and perform a little bit better. It's like saying, lifting weights, 2 times a week for 30 minutes. That's not cheating, but you're getting stronger. If you could use the Brain Gauge, and we've got a Brain Gauge on the training platform, if you use that, 10, 20 minutes a day, or, say 20 minutes a day for 3 days a week, and you focus on reaction time, you will get better. We have multiple tests, but, we even have a multitasking test where you can work on your ability to multitask. So, and again, we're going after the basic mechanisms, or it's the basic building blocks of brain function. So it's a little bit different, but yes, and we're seeing people get much, much better at reaction time. I'm actually at all the scores, so much so that we've had to change the platform and add different levels. For example, I mentioned, the average reaction time for most people is around 200 milliseconds. And we're seeing people get well below 150 milliseconds, which is really fast. Theoretically, the best you can do is probably 100, 110. But I haven't seen anybody do that. That's all theory.
Yeah. It would be interesting to test some of these people that have to have these F1 or, boxer or something like that have to have those sort of really quick, and see which ones are the best out of those as well.
Yeah. So we've tested a lot of athletes, a lot of student athletes, and yeah, they are quite good. I mean, I was a competitive athlete myself, and I spent a lot of time doing speed drills, which had absolutely nothing to do with swimming, I was a competitive swimmer, but it really did help me get off the starting block faster. So that was one thing. My background in competitive sports actually had a lot to do with the development of the Brain Gauge, because when we first started, I was kind of blown away that nobody really tried to track brain function at all in terms of when people were getting better, or, when they were, going through some kind of treatment. They really didn't track, they didn't really have an easy way to track it. So that was one reason we were, and that's sort of been the approach of the way we do things. And we tried to make it very user friendly so that anybody can use it.